The man charged with the murder of a healthcare executive in New York has appeared in court today in Pennsylvania for an extradition hearing. Luigi Mangione was heard shouting and yelling as he arrived. His lawyer says his client is contesting extradition. The judge has denied bail. Deda Tawfik is following developments from New York. Outbursts in court. What is he contesting, and why would he not want to go back to New York, Neda?
Well, Christian, he is contesting that extradition, and that is a key question. Why is he contesting that? I mean, I've spoken to defense lawyers, including one, Jeffrey Lichtman, who represented the drug lord El Chapo, and others in state courts as well as federal. And he said for defense lawyers, typically, you do want your client with you as soon as possible to start building a defense case. And I think it's understood that he will eventually be extradited to New York. He could have done that if he waived his right today even. He could have been arriving here shortly, but that could take now a couple weeks given Luigi Mangione is contesting it. So, Christian, really interesting because we saw, as you say, an outburst in court where his lawyer actually told him to be quiet. What I heard from Jeffrey Lichtman, again, this defense lawyer I was speaking to, was that he thinks he may have a viable extreme emotional disturbance defense in New York, which would help lower, for example, a charge of murder to manslaughter and would lead to a much lower sentence. But that is going to be a key focus, of course, of his defense lawyers, how to build their kind of case moving forward.
You've been talking, I know, to someone who knew him in Hawaii in his past. What did you discover about him?
Yeah, we're really building a bigger picture of Luigi Mangione, and R.J. Martin is actually the founder of Surf Break, and it's a co-living space in Hawaii where people come and actually interview for a space in that program. And he said that when he was interviewing Luigi Mangione, even then he brought up his back pain, his back issues, and he said it would often be the case that he couldn't surf, he couldn't do activities. In one instance, for a week, he was bedridden because of pain. But he also said he was someone that he cooked with often, did yoga with, who was a very energetic, kind individual. And so he was very shocked to hear that he is a suspect in this murder. He said it just doesn't fit with the person he knew, and that the whole community there in Hawaii that knew him are shocked.
Neda, thank you for that. Back with us on the programme tonight, Barry Donadio. He's a former US Secret Service agent. We talked to him during the manhunt. Barry, good to have you back on the programme. As Neda set out there, we sort of know now what, I guess, part of the motive is. It seems he'd had quite extensive surgery on his back. He was frustrated about that. But what's confusing is he's not a man without means. His grandfather had owned a country club and a nursing home, among other things. He went to a private school and then on to Ivy League. So what do you see in the background here?
Surprised that he even applied for a public defender first. So he's filled out that application. He had, from what I understand, a public defender represent him during the bail review, as well as the other hearing that was held today. And, this case is looking more and more like a young man, misguided, trying to be like a Robin Hood figure, thinking he's saving the world, when in fact it was a terrible waste of his life and a man that he killed, all for a difference of an opinion, basically. So, I think we have to look at the possibility of some kind of a psychosis that may have happened to him. Such a young, aspiring young man has turned into what we've seen on television. And I'm curious of this back pain issue. There's so many things that come with back pain other than some of the injuries they're describing. We're starting to see reports that this is inducive of severe depression as well, just manic, back pain all the time. And I'm wondering if some of the medications he was on, which may be a defense for him, led him into maybe just having some kind of a mental breakdown and doing all this. But then again, that would be very hard to do for his attorneys. And I'm sure that's going to be a strategy. The prosecution is going to simply say also, hey, he was able to plan and do all this calm, cool, and collectively, and then try to lie to the police, what it seems to be lie to the police over there in McDonald's when he was questioned.
Yeah. He still had in his rucksack this 3D printed weapon, the same false ID, some kind of manifesto or explainer as to why he was doing what he's done. How does that direct the immediate investigation?
Well, I think it's just going to show that he was quite capable of planning this all out. It's going to show that he was in a capable state of mind. He went through all the troubles to do all this, even put a silencer on. So I think it's going to hurt his defense as well, as far as, hey, if this is just somebody that's in a psychosis and really doesn't know what they're doing and literally went mad and did this. But there's just so many things that he did plan, did get right. And what seems to be an intricate escape plan, going through Pennsylvania, and then what I believe is maybe filtering himself down into Maryland, because he's right above the Maryland border, and maybe going back to places where he knows in Maryland.
It's quite an extraordinary story, and the reaction online as well to it, really fascinating. Barry, we're out of time. Thank you very much indeed for your thoughts this evening.